Hello, I'm Turbo Thunder.
And I'm the Ton 1789.
And this is Reading Disc Now!
Alright, after some minor delays, we're back here with Reading Disc Now. Let's get your flutters. Okay, so basically, this is me and Turbo Thunder. We've been thinking for a long time that we've been wanting to do our own gaming-related channel. We've done some gaming videos before, if you've seen the Xevious video or the SkyKid video, but...
Really any video.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, we've done some gaming stuff, but we wanted to make a whole gaming channel, like, just for gaming. And so this is what hopefully Reading Disc Now is going to be.
Yeah.
We don't have logos up yet. It'll be up soon enough, though. So we have my friend Groxmon190, and the girl that you saw in the Watch Dogs parody video. She's gonna be helping us work on our channel art. So yeah, pretty much we have a lot of big plans for this channel. We're gonna do everything from Let's Plays to reviews and everything in between. And yeah, do you want to say anything, Turbo Thunder?
Okay, I'm trying to get a better computer so that way video games can be recorded officially without having to use a separate camera outside the TV. So that way you can see the best amount of footage from the actual display itself and not recording the TV from an extra camera.
So yeah, I'm gonna turn this...
Do you think there's going to be a Lego Movie 2?
Yeah.
What do you think it's going to be about?
Legos.
Duh. What would you think the plot would be?
You know, I don't know. I have a good idea for one though that they could possibly pull off. That'd be kind of cool. What if they did like sort of they take like, you know how they have all those abandoned sets in the movie that they talk about?
Yeah.
They're like sets that got canceled. What if all those were like sets were to come back from the dead or something like that, and like try to take over the rest of the universe?
That'd be interesting. What I think is the cliffhanger they had in the movie where the girls you know how in the end of the movie they said, the dad said, if I'm going to let you play on this, your little sister's going to need to play on this too. And then all of a sudden in the animation, they're walking, they're like, yay, happy ending. And all of a sudden, these weird Lego figures appear, and it's like, we are here to take over your planet. Duplo. Yeah, and they're all like these little girly figures, so I think it's going to be that.
I think it was more of just a gag joke for the end. Since there's so many little kids that play the Duplos, it makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I used to have Duplos, and then we donated them all. And I just have Legos, but I don't even use. I use Minecraft instead.
Yeah.
Minecraft. You can do anything.
I can do anything in Minecraft, which is scary. It's really scary when you look at the internet. It looks like
don't look at the internet. Don't.
Stop watching this right now. Because this is the internet. YouTube has scary stuff on there, people.
Yeah, just...
Watch your children.
We just screwed up a bunch of childhood memories.
What childhood memories?
I mean, not childhood memories, but childhood the childhood that's supposed to make the childhood good, now he just made it bad.
Well, I mean, as long as they stay away from those parts of the internet.
Oh, God.
Okay, let's find a new topic. Alright,
people are thinking that Ubisoft is going to make a Watch Dogs 2. I'm hearing about a Sleeping Dogs 2. Why is Watch Dogs part of... when I first found out about Watch Dogs, I thought it was a sequel to Sleeping Dogs. But instead of the dogs sleeping, they're watching. When I learned it's its own game. So I thought it was going to involve dogs. But then it doesn't. So I call it Watch Dogs.
Wait, why did you think it was going to involve dogs?
Well, Watch Dogs has dogs in the name.
Yeah, but
so
how did you automatically assume that was going to have dogs in it?
Well, I honestly thought it was going to have it.
It's not like it's cats and dogs. It's not like it's
I thought it was going to have at least have something to do with a dog in the plot, but it doesn't.
Well, it's...
And in any of the
games... Did you assume that Call of Duty Ghosts was going to have ghosts in it?
Yeah, actually, I thought that's why I was almost thinking of pre-ordering it, because it was going to involve ghosts and you'd be like a Ghostbuster. Then I learned it was just going to be another rerun of the exact same thing, so...
Yeah, there's dogs in that game. There's dogs.
Yeah, in fact, he made a huge deal about it. Call of Duty Ghosts, introduce dogs, control your dogs, walk up to humans and beat them up, get to see the blood get thrown all over the place. There's the most beat up and meanest dog you've ever seen. Don't be the victim. control the person that's going to become. Wait, no, I said that wrong. Control the dog that's going to create the victim.
To be fair with Call of Duty, though, but even though I haven't liked the series very much up to this point, I have to admit, Advanced Warfare looks pretty awesome. I mean, I've watching the trailers. I don't know if it's gonna be any good, but it looks awesome. I might have to get it.
If you can be allowed to.
Speaking of that,
Destiny's rated T for teens, so kids that are outraged about not being able to play M games, kind of me, you get a chance to be able to experience games
you had
like
the Orange
Halo.
Box and Assassin's Creed. Oh, the whole series. The whole series.
It took me months to convince them to get those, and I didn't even realize Half-Life was rated M. I didn't
Getting
even know
Halo
that.
this November, yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Destiny's rated T for teen.
I'm pretty happy about that. I'm glad to see that not every gaming company is going automatically for the blood and gore. It's like...
Or nudity, that too.
Yeah, really. I mean, Grand Theft Auto is still a violent game, but I mean, the nudity's just kind of pushing it.
Yeah.
You know, it's unnecessary. So, what else? What else is new? Smash Bros. Coming out soon.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS and the Wii U. The biggest difference between the two graphically is that because the 3DS screen is so small, that all the characters are going to be outlined with a black line, and you can edit the thickness.
Actually, for that, they didn't they change it so that you can take out the outline if you want?
Yeah, they added it so you can change the thickness. So if you want to make it really thick, you can, and if you want to make it really thin or have none at all, you can do that. I'm probably just going to make it kind of
I
thick.
don't know you can edit the thickness. That's cool.
Yeah, I noticed that in one of the trailers.
So, out of all the new characters, who's the character you're most excited about?
Well, the character trailer, the ones I enjoyed the most was the Punch-Out, mainly because of the cinematic style, the music, and
Punch-Out
the comic,
cool.
the comic style of the arts.
I mean, it's like their only actual series that's based around fighting, so I mean, it makes sense to put Punch-Out in there.
Yeah.
And it's not like he's that generic. There's plenty of stuff you can do with a Punch-Out character if you consider.
Yeah.
Like, you even combine him with some of the other fighters' moves, like Bull or King Hippo or any of the guys like that.
One thing that I actually don't like about what's his name from Punch-Out? Little Mac is that the character for him in Super Smash Bros. Is he has his own meter that allow him to do a super punch for instant KO. The thing is, they could have used that as a smash move, where kind of like Link's, where he does the eye thing and he goes to anyone who's in his general direction. I mean, he goes to him and does the sword attack.
Yeah,
where you could have little Mac
do
do the same thing, where he went to a character in his general direction, did a lot of punches, and then did the ultimate uppercut instead of having his ultra mega mode.
Instead for the Final Smash, they had Gigamac, which was in Punch Out for the Wii. So I mean, it kind of makes sense that they wouldn't include the Star Punch as like a full on Final Smash, because I mean, you have to do something with Gigamac. And that's a lot more powerful than the Star Punch.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. There's also the rumors of the new Star Fox for Wii U is coming out soon. Like, well, not rumors, but like they showed like the little blurred clip during the E3 Nintendo conference.
I hope it's going to come out because they haven't made an official new Star Fox game in a while.
I know, I've been waiting. It's like
I'm not counting Star Fox 64 3D. That doesn't count because
that's a cool game, but it's just a remake.
It's a remake. It's just a remake from the original, which is a really great game.
The last time they had a real game in the series was Command, and there's a few problems with that. First of all, it was non-canon to the series, so it didn't even continue the storyline at all. And second of all, it also was a real-time strategy game, which it was cool, but it wasn't Star Fox. It's quite the same way. And then even before that, Star Fox Assault. I mean, there's a lot of third-person shooter stuff in there, which is really not what Star Fox is about. If they were going to do that kind of stuff, I'd prefer a spin-off. It's the last real time we've had a regular Star Fox game was the Star Fox 64, and that's been a long time.
Yeah, the style of the just going forward in your ship and
I don't count Adventures as a Star Fox game. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what...
Wait, say it again?
Adventures is not a Star Fox game.
Oh.
It's an alright game, but it's not a Star Fox game.
I gotta search up Adventures. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
there's a game called Adventures.
Yeah, Star Fox Adventures, it's like the whole game is like stylized after Legend of Zelda. It's that kind of a gameplay. And the only reason it got changed to Star Fox is because Miyamoto noted that the main character looked a lot like Fox McCloud. And it was really dumb because the game had nothing to do with Star Fox at all.
That's stupid.
I mean, at least with Assault, it was like it was a Star Fox game, it just with some odd features in it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. I remember getting Adventures was like my first Star Fox game I got, and I remember bringing it home like, what the hell is this? It's like, it's not, yeah, it wasn't really like the thing I was expecting with Star Fox. because I never had to play Star Fox 64 when it was new. I was born after that generation. So my first like system for Nintendo was GameCube.
The N64 is the first game system I ever played. It was Offer of Thunder. Having no idea, my dad ended up setting the difficulty on the max for that game, and that's why I always lost. But I wasn't mad, surprisingly. First time I played Mario Kart, I lost. Huge rage quit for Mario Kart Wii. I tried it, but the thing is,
I remember when that was new.
The first Mario Kart game I played was for the DS, but when we got the Wii, we got Mario Kart not too later. And the thing about Mario Kart Wii is that you turn during this. So I didn't have the whole wheel set, so I started going like this, trying to turn to the right even more.
Oh, I know people that do that. It drives me nuts.
And because I kept spinning it like this,
they bring it all the way like that. It's like, no, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't help you at all.
And then I all of a sudden I'm like doing all these weird turns, and I'm like, no, I want to turn right, and I started crying when I was little.
Jeez.
Yeah. And then after that, my parents got like the is it there? Oh, it is here. Let me grab it. My parents got this.
That was new, so
this allows you to not turn all the way like this. This actually keeps you realizing that there's limits. I used that for a while.
It wasn't new, but I remember people that had Mario Kart 64.
Yeah. I have it, but my copy doesn't really work that well. It's right there. If you can see it.
It works, it's just not, well... I gave him a copy because I had 2 copies of the game.
He has a better copy, jerk.
I have a little game collection, actually.
He's a big game collector. He has a lot of games.
Yeah, I have I have an Xbox 360, like everyone else.
He has an Xbox 360, a PlayStation 3, and a Nintendo Wii, an original Xbox that has nothing with it. He just got the console itself. So
PlayStation 2. I have stuff to play GameCube on my Wii.
He has an SNES.
I have a Nintendo 64. I have a what was the other one I had? I have Nintendo DSi. I don't have 3DS yet. Just saving up for that, and I have a Game Boy Advance SP. Those are my systems.
He uses the Advance more than his DSi, but I get that. He doesn't really.
The Advance has some pretty cool games on it.
I want a Game Boy Advanced.
I've been meaning to get some games on that system.
Yeah, I want a Game Boy Advance so I can play a lot of games that's on the Game Boy.
That's the nice thing about the Game Boy Advance, is that it's backwards compatible with everything before it.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. So then I could get some original Game Boy, a Game Boy Color, a Game Boy Advance games, really just any Game Boy game.
So I'm planning on possibly selling that because I want to get the Game Boy player.
I get first dibs. But if I ever get a GameCube, if I don't have a Game Boy Advance by then, I'm just gonna get like that Game Boy thing you can plug into a GameCube, so you can play Game Boy games on it.
Yeah.
Have you seen the video on YouTube? Kids react to the Game Boy.
I haven't seen that one. It sounds familiar.
I watched it because I was just browsing YouTube and I saw it. A lot of kids gave it respect, but there's this one kid who just gave it no respect, and they asked, what would you do if your parents gave you this for real? And this one kid said, I'll just throw it away. It's useless. It's big. It's hunk of metal. And this kid's the nerdiest kid too.
Oh.
But the rest of the kids said they would keep it. They wouldn't throw it away. They'll probably use their tablets, but they would play it. And there's another kid who's like 12. He was 12, and he was like saying he had one of these.
My big problem with a lot of gamers nowadays, like not all of them, like I like all the ones that there's like not all of them, just some of them. There's like a lot of people nowadays.
Mix of gamers don't really.
There's like a lot of people that play FPSs only all the time, and I'm not saying everyone. I'm not making any generalizations, but there are a good amount of people nowadays that don't respect classic games at all, and it drives me nuts because the games they have now would not even have happened if it weren't for the old games.
About newer games compared to older games, besides
like,
Nintendo.
When I hear people calling Assassin's Creed an old game, it's like, no. But it's like, I don't get that it's worse when people are like, Super Mario Bros. Sucks, that was a crappy game. Or even when people like, FPSs.
The people that say Mario sucks, they should see the original sales amount for the first Mario Bros. Game. They should take a look at that.
And then I mean, even if they only like FPSs, they still disrespect games like Doom, which are like the classics that started off the
Doom created Halo Halo. Doom created Halo,
and which kind of people disrespect Halo too. It's like there would not be a Call of Duty. There would not be a Crisis. There would not be a Battlefield if it weren't for these games that came before it. Halos, your GoldenEyes, your Dooms, your Wolfensteins. These games wouldn't exist if it weren't for these classic games that came first.
GoldenEye was one of the Bond's GoldenEye for the N64 was one of the first biggest games that was an FPS that was on a console and not PC. It was one of the bigger ones besides Doom because it kind of show.
Well, I mean, Doom was on consoles, but Doom had really lousy ports. But like GoldenEye was the first console exclusive FPS, as far as I know.
That
well, it
was
might not be.
That wasn't.
It was the first one that was good, anyway.
Yeah, it was one of the few. It was one of the first ones out that was a port. Well, no, it wasn't exclusive, not a port, but it was.
Yeah.
But was showing. That was kind of showing that people. Or
It
not
was-
people, that video games can be decent for an FPS on consoles at the time.
Yeah, I mean,
Back
up
in
to that point,
N64.
everyone thought that it was impossible for you to make a good FPS on a console, which is why we had the really shoddy ports of Doom or Wolfenstein on the SNES and Genesis. And it was that was like the first game to really prove that you could pull it off that way.
Yeah.
And then Halo, that's kind of modernized the whole FPS genre, and almost every FPS of this game is modeled after what Halo created originally.
The thing about newer games compared to older games that really separate the experience is the amount of charm. Because newer games tend to be a bit more alike each other with the visual styles, just a little bit. And they still have their own style, but it's not as strong. Because if you look,
games nowadays are more dark. Like
Yeah,
the really popular ones.
they're more dark and they're more serious.
I mean, we have still our more cartoony games like Smash Brothers, but I mean, this is kind of the typical fare nowadays. Is much darker FPS third-person shooters, FPS games,
And those games are good. I'm not giving any
No,
credit. Those games
they're
are really
games.
good. But
BioShock's is awesome. Halo's awesome. As much as I don't like Call of Duty, I admit the gaming industry wouldn't be what it is without Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And Battlefield's pretty good. Crysis is pretty good.
They're just a bit overrated.
Yes, some of them are overrated. Depends on who. It depends on which game. But I mean, like, Assassin's Creed's an awesome series. These series are really good. It's just that I kind of like to see I kind of like indie games because it's like an increase in
The classic charm. The classic charm of
And
the
I'm not
original
saying
game.
every game. There's a lot of really dark indie games, but indie games have a bit more variety than the mainstream right now.
That's why I plan to be a video game programmer. I'm hoping to work for one of the big industries, but as I'm working for the bigger industries, I could start making my own having maybe a few friends, start making our own games if anybody's a designer or writer.
Yeah. Also, we have our game Operation Wrath that we're trying to get going. That's not going to be for a while, though.
Couple years, actually.
At least.
So don't even talk about Operation Wrath. That's kind of like, right now, it's kind of non-active.
Yeah, not right now. Maybe if we get more views and stuff, we can start trying to get together with other people.
Yeah.
Anyway. So what's new with the YouTube community right now?
We just created the account you're watching, and it was hard as hell trying to change a name.
YouTube is... What's the point of...
Making it connected with Google Plus.
It's stupid. I used to not care that much, and then I'm trying to make an account, and it's ridiculously difficult to do. They've changed it's pointless.
They're trying to make YouTube into one of the social medias like Facebook or Instagram. Is what Google Plus is trying to do. With trying to change your name, I was able to tell that.
Yeah,
YouTube's not like that.
Username.
YouTube's
It's
more
ridiculous.
YouTube's with all these people. If you look at the popular people, they're more like playing like PewDiePie. He's playing all the newer games, so he's kind of like a news. He's showing you all the newer games and what they're like. He's like a news person.
I
So
still can't believe he makes millions of dollars. I watched PewDiePie once. He isn't that good. I mean,
well, he just ruined all our fans. It's not that he's not good.
I don't
Is
like
that-
him. I don't.
He's a stupid guy. He's a stupid guy.
Oh, shut up. Oh, shh.
I think he's.
I don't like
I
PewDiePie that
think
much,
he's
but you know, I don't have a problem with him. He's not my favorite.
he just gets more people to watch YouTube every other day.
Yeah, I prefer some of the other gamers. Screws Hack's awesome. Rooster Teeth. They're more my guys.
Yeah, same here.
PewDiePie just...
He's overrated.
Yes, he's overrated.
That's the
He's
only
over.
thing.
I really don't like him, honestly. I've watched a few of his gameplay videos. Oh, so did anyone here let's hear in the comments if you guys have attended SGC. We want to hear about it because we haven't gone there yet. And
He's planning to go.
Yeah,
if
one of
he's
these
going,
days,
I want to go.
it'll be fun. Maybe someday we'll get a Reading Disc Now panel up there. But
That's gonna be
no
a
time
couple
soon.
years. It's gonna be a
No time
couple years.
SGC had a bunch of new stuff coming up. They got the interview with the guy that made that was like the co-creator of Mega Man.
Oh,
So that was pretty
cool.
cool.
That would have been awesome to meet him.
You should watch some of the panels online. They've been posting them on Screws Hack.
Cool.
Like,
I'll take a look.
They had one for Game Theory so far. They
You
had
guys
one with
take a
Mega
look
64.
take a look at Screw Attack. They're really cool.
Screws Hack. Those guys are really awesome. And yeah, basically watch the stuff on SGC. There's a lot of YouTubers that had really awesome panels there, and they're really cool and worth watching. Are there any good YouTubers that you think should be mentioned, even though they're like not huge people that everyone knows?
I don't really watch YouTubers do playthroughs on YouTube because I kind of get bored of it because I'm not the person playing it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I do more reviews and top 10s than I do.
I more just watch reviews, mainly IGN reviews because they have like
professional to me. I like the sillier people.
I watch sillier people every now and then, but whenever I want to see a review, if I'm thinking of getting the game, I go at IGN. So really, that's the only time I ever see some gameplay that I'm not playing, or unless it's E3, of course. But that's when I'm kind of just checking out. I don't really watch any playthroughs or walkthroughs. I'm kind of.
You might want to start watching some more because that's what this whole channel's about, basically. And anyway, I'm gonna tell you some channels that are pretty cool. There's I forgot the name. I forgot his old username, but there's this guy called Red Guy 26748, something like that, and he's a small reviewer, and he has a lot of his videos aren't very well known. I don't think you talk to anyone, no one will have heard of him, but I've talked to him. Sometimes he's really cool. He's worth watching if you have a chance to subscribe to him. And let's see, there's other channels too that are really cool.
Our channels are really cool.
Our channels are awesome.
You should check us out.
But not in the way that it sounded like. I'm a girl. I'm single. I'm single.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a drink.
If you guys have a chance, check out Rabid Luigi's pretty awesome, and Animal Guy 001 is pretty cool. I've heard y'all have heard of the Angry Video Game Nerd. He's really cool. Matt Pat of Game Theory is awesome. Smosh Games, which I'm sure you've heard of. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool channels out there that are worth watching. If you just look around a little bit, not just the really popular guys. There's www.Wario is really cool. And check out this guy called Who Is This Git? He's really funny. He's worth watching, and he has some really informative videos. Or the Completionist or the Easter Egg Hunter are really cool too. I'm sure you've heard of the Completionist. Yeah, those are. If I think of any more, I'll give them shout outs in the next video. But
thanks for watching. Have a nice day.
It's summer.
Year. Have a nice night. It's summer. No school for the kids who are in school like us.
Go to Colossus before it closes next week. Poor Colossus.
Check the release date of this video.
Yeah.
Before all of a sudden you go, Colossus is still open, and run over to Magic Mountain and find out they're not open and cry your heart out.
Yeah, it closes on the 16th of August, actually.
2014.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people will see 2014 from the post date.
I know, but still.
This will be posted before it closes. So please go to Magic Mountain and check out Colossus. It was an awesome quote toaster. Give it its due respect.
And give us promotion. We'll
be there next week, actually. So if you run into us next week, don't be afraid to die.
This channel is brand new.
Some random guy happens to see this video. Go ahead and say hi to us. We'll be there next week on Wednesday.
That random guy is probably going to be the only viewer.
Yeah.
But who cares? We're going to be famous someday. We're going to be famous someday.
Someday. 3, 2, 1. Someday later. 3, 2, 1. Someday later. And so on. Alright. The interwebs. This is the Ton 1789.
Turbo Thunder on RDN.
And we're signing out. And just so you know, you guys will see Homebrew Guy and Groxmon 190 a little bit later. We have to talk to them first before they go into this channel. We talked to them about the channel, but we figured we just kind of an introduction and podcast. Alright, see you guys later.